Signs and symptoms of awakening, looking at different levels according to a collection of resources. Here is a compilation of the potential experiences you might have, at the different levels, while traveling this journey. Every person's experiences during this time are different and personal. Symptoms of awakening by the awakened state. You will notice an increase in energy as well as various symptoms that manifest physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually within your personal reality. During the process of a spiritual awakening, you will feel as if your life has turned completely upside down into a destructive downward spiral. The process of a spiritual awakening is not always positive. It is the deconstruction of the old self, stripping away the layers of the karmic shell to be reborn into the new evolved consciousness. It is the metamorphosis of the soul and the transcendence of the ego. In many forms it is the concept of going through ego death. Our subconscious or shadow self breaks through into our reality. We are not only faced with our worst fears, but we are faced with the crumbling sense that the truth of what we conceive of reality is shattered. The worst thing that can happen to a person is the realization that everything within our reality is an illusion. It can even be so strong as to drive a person mad. However, a spiritual awakening is the crumpling away of truth into the awakening of mental clarity. It will not only feel like an identity crisis, but the things you once loved will turn into what you no longer desire. You may lose your job, your house, your loved ones, perhaps even your family, as the old you goes through a process of being reborn. What was once hidden from you will be revealed. Upon awakening. The Awakening Found, by Christine Wellen. Once you are able to face your own internal darkness, you will once again find the infinite light within your soul. True clarity begins once the walls of your old reality start falling all around you and you begin to see the world with new senses. You are no novice. Let that be clear to you from this day forth. Everything that is happening to you is for a reason and purpose. The epitome of these symptoms is that they are creating who you once were and are as a co-creator of reality. This is not about teaching, this is about unlocking. These are merely memories you have forgotten within yourself. Always remember this. Emotional upheaval, we like to call it, the bipolar roller coaster of your emotions. This is where you will experience the extreme polarity of emotions, moving from euphoria to depression as if you feel your emotions are completely out of your control. This is the result of your hormones changing through your endocrine system. One minute you will feel on top of the world and the next you will encounter deep waves of emotion that will lead to tears. Feelings of deep inner sadness for no apparent reason. You are also releasing your past, this lifetime and others, and this causes the feeling of sadness. This is similar to the experience of moving from a house where you lived in for many, many years into a new house. As much as you want to move into the new house, there is a sadness of leaving behind the memories, energy, and experiences of the old house. Crying for no apparent reason. It's good and healthy to let the tears flow. It helps to release the old energy within. Crying on a bus in the rain. Feeling lost/confused/having an identity crisis. This is not only just a feeling of loneliness, it is a feeling of confusion about what is truth and what is real. It becomes not only hard to relate to others, but there is a deep sadness when everyone around you no longer understands you. An isolation builds where you can no longer understand yourself, who you are, what is your path or reality itself. It is the essence of dissociation, where you feel completely disconnected from reality and those around you. It also may even bring up the thought that your entire life is not real or that the entirety of existence is a fabrication. There becomes a deep fear that you cannot deal with material reality as everyone around you is still an illusion. A dark time that is positive in form. This is where the ego starts losing its bearings over your consciousness. Dark night of the soul. This connects into the above, identity crisis. The dark night of the soul is a natural part of awakening. It is the shedding away of our old skin. It's the ripping apart of the old soul to be reborn into the newly evolved consciousness. There appears to be more chaos that enters into your life as the old you encounters the resistance of letting go, a desire to hold on to the old you, building a resistance of letting go which causes more and more entropy within your daily life. A dark night of the soul creates an isolation with those around us. Everything begins to rip apart within our reality, our friends, our family, and those we love most. We feel we can't connect anymore. We feel an inability to connect because the universe is asking us to look more inward and question ourselves, our reality, and what is our purpose here. It is usually triggered by a dark event surrounding loss such as death, a bad breakup, loss of a job, loss of a house, rape, illness, etc. a cataclysm that triggers the destruction of the ego as our subconscious breaks through. It gives us a look behind our own face into our worst fears and insecurities. It is about facing our dark night of the soul to get to the infinite light of our being. Strongly feeling and seeing energy. The doctor tells you, your eyesight is normal, but you come home perplexed as to why these orbs of light don't seem to disappear from your vision. Our world is made of energy, and once we start awakening, our senses become heightened into seeing beyond ordinary reality. You begin to start seeing and feeling energy around yourself and others. This can manifest in many different forms. The more common occurrences: seeing orbs of light within peripheral vision, light flashes, tracers or afterimages among objects or people, tingling or vibrating sensation from head to toe, feeling unexplainable warmth in the hands or feet, swirling orbs of light within the sky, seeing colors of frequency commonly mistaken with the disorder synesthesia. For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim, he shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. By this therefore shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged, and this is all the fruit to take away his sin, when he maketh all the stones of the altar as chalkstones that are beaten in sunder. The groves and images shall not stand up. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind, I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Feeling deeply in tune with astrological alignments. When our consciousness changes, we become more in alignment with frequency and in turn frequency of the earth. When we are more aware, we begin to notice the subtle patterns, especially during the moon phases and astrological alignments. Since everything is connected through the ripple effect, we are affected in magnitude during these events. Every retrograde, meteor shower, solar flare, equinox, solstice, eclipse, galactic openings such as triangles or T-squares are all felt stronger than normal. Also be sure to check out your natal chart to see where your transits are and how they will affect you. Many label astrology as hoax, but the subtle patterns are always there for those